how's it going? Welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today, we're making my chicken Mediterranean wrap. Now this recipe takes a lot of hints from Middle Eastern flavors. It's an awesome choice for meal prep, and it tastes amazing. So, let's get started. Alright, so for the ingredients, we're going to need 1 pound of chicken breast, diced and cooked, 1 red bell pepper, 1 yellow bell pepper, half of a red onion, 1 large zucchini, 1 yellow squash, and 2 red hot chili peppers. And then we're also going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I've already divided them. 2 tablespoons of tahini, the juice of half of a lemon, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, plus an additional pinch of salt that you're going to use later, plus some additional to taste, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, plus some additional to taste, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 4 tablespoons of garlic chili hot sauce. You can find that in your Asian market or the international aisle. 4 handfuls of baby spinach, and finally 4 to 6 soft tortilla wraps. Alright, so to get things started, we're going to prepare all the vegetables to be roasted. And so to do that, we're going to start with the red onion, and you just want to take that half of a red onion you have and slice it from root to tip, and then create nice thin slices out of that onion. And you just want to make sure you separate all the slices of the red onion just so that each piece can get an even cook in the oven. But you want to aim for slices about as thick as the ones I just cut. Next up, we have the red pepper, and similarly we want to cut long thin slices that can easily fit within the wrap. So just make sure to remove the seeds and the stem of the red pepper, and then cut out matchstick like slices from the rest of the pepper. And this may seem like a lot of vegetables that you're going to have to fit into a wrap, but trust me, the oven takes a lot of the water and the size out of each of these slices, so they're much more manageable once they're nice and roasted. Similarly with the yellow pepper, all you need to do is remove the inner seeds and the stem, and then create those matchstick-like slices as well. And once you have it all sliced up, you can set that aside with the rest of the vegetables too. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my next video drops. And stay tuned until the end of this video for a sneak peek of the recipe coming next week. Next up is the zucchini. First, I like to cut off the stem and the root of the zucchini, and then what you want to do is slice it in half lengthwise, and then you want to cut each of those halves along the length as well into about 4 to 5 evenly thick slices, and then you want to double back on those and cut those into about 3 different portions. And you just want to repeat the same process with the other half of the zucchini. And once you chop up the zucchini to a smaller point, you can double back on those thinner pieces, and any of the wedge-like pieces, you can always cut those thinner as well. You just want to make sure you aim to have all the slices about the same thickness. And you're just going to repeat the same process with the yellow squash. I know it has an unusual shapes, but I always just like to cut off the stem and the root, and then cut it along the length. And then similarly, you want to dice up each half of the squash into smaller, manageable pieces. And finally, we want to add a little bit of heat to the vegetables while they're roasting. So you want to take your 2 red hot chili peppers, remove the stems, and then create nice thin slices of each pepper. And if you want it slightly less spicy, you can remove most of the seeds as well. Alright, now you want to add all these vegetables into an oven-safe pan lined with parchment paper. You want to give the vegetables a nice toss on the pan just to make sure they're all well distributed amongst themselves. And then you can go ahead and drizzle about half a tablespoon of olive oil over the surface of the vegetables. And then you want to follow that up with half a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and a pinch or two of salt. Give the vegetables another toss just to make sure that all of them get a nice thin coat of the seasonings in the oil. And then we're going to go in with the remaining half of a tablespoon of olive oil and lightly drizzle the vegetables with that. And then season again with the remaining half of a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and another pinch or two of salt. Give the vegetables one more toss just to make sure they all have a nice even coat of seasoning and oil. And now you're ready to bake these vegetables in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. And you want to bake them for about 30 to 40 minutes. I normally aim more towards the 30-minute time mark as I want some liquid still in my vegetables. So while the vegetables are roasting, we can go ahead and prepare the chicken. So in this recipe, I'm using thinly sliced chicken breast, but you can use whole chicken breast as well. But you just want to make sure you, in the end, slice them down to manageable bite-sized pieces. So you want to lightly season the chicken with salt and pepper on both sides, and then you want to press the seasoning into the chicken. And then all you need to do is slice the chicken breast into smaller bite-sized pieces. When you're creating the chicken slices, you always want to keep in mind that you're filling a wrap with these, so you don't want them too big or too small. You just want to make sure you get a nice portion of chicken in each bite of the wrap. Now you want to pour 1 tablespoon of olive oil into a large size pan and make sure that the oil evenly coats the cooking surface. You want to add the diced chicken to the pan, and you want to cook all the chicken on medium-high heat or 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. And you want to cook them until they're all cooked through, flipping them intermittently so that all the sides of the chicken can cook evenly. By the end of the cooking process, some of the pieces will have a nice golden caramelization on them, and then you'll know you're ready to remove them from the heat and set them aside. So now in a medium-sized bowl, you want to add the 2 tablespoons of tahini, the juice from half a lemon, the paprika, the cumin, and the 1 teaspoon of salt to the bowl. And you want to give this mixture a nice whisk until it's all well combined. And then you want to add the cooked diced chicken into the bowl, and you want to toss all the chicken in the seasoning until it's nice and coated. And I find it easiest just to use a rubber spatula for this, and take your time with tossing the chicken as the seasoning is quite thick, and it might take a little while for it to evenly coat each piece of chicken. At this point, the vegetables should be done roasting in the oven, and so you can remove them, and as you can see, the vegetables have reduced a lot in size. And more importantly, the texture of all the vegetables are nice and soft now, which makes them really manageable in the wrap. So now on to making the wraps. So I'm going to take 1 soft tortilla and spread about a tablespoon's worth of the garlic chili hot sauce onto the soft tortilla. I like to spread it on the center and then use the flat end of the spoon to spread it out. Next, you want to add a portion of the chicken, just making sure that it takes up the center length of the tortilla. Then you want to follow that up with another portion of roasted vegetables. And then you want to add about a handful of baby spinach. And so there are a lot of ingredients in this wrap, so it won't be able to close completely by itself. So you need to close both ends of the wrap together and then use a large toothpick to pin both edges of the tortilla together. And then the process is pretty easy from this point on. You just repeat what you just did, starting with the tortilla, following up with the garlic chili sauce, the chicken, the vegetables, and the spinach. And there's normally enough ingredients to make about 4 to 5 chicken wraps, but I normally have some leftover vegetables, and I always like to make a veggie wrap with that as well. And these wraps can be served hot or cold. I prefer them hot as I feel they taste the best this way. And for more Mediterranean flavor, you can always try adding some green or black olives to the recipe. And just like that, you've just made your very own chicken Mediterranean wraps. This is an awesome lunch option, packed with protein and vitamins while staying low on the calorie count. Not to mention, it is absolutely delicious and a real hit for any of my spice lovers out there. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine Volume 1, Finding Your Inner Chef. And that's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in the description box. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my next video drops. And stay tuned for next week, where I show you to make an amazing poke bowl. Well, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine. Until then, peace.